Let's go with this one, inshallah. Okay, so it's very important for us to know anwa'u salah, the types of salah, hukmuha, and the rulings of it. So any of your 5 daily prayers in Jum'ah, it is fard ayn, i.e. individual obligation. Salatul Eid, Salatul Janaza, fard kifaya. So fard kifaya, even seeking knowledge is fard kifaya. Yeah. The Isha Jama'at in my masjid is now, okay, go ahead. Okay, so Salatul Eid and Salatul, some scholars will tell you Salatul Eid is Sunnah. This is one of the opinions. Salatul Janaza is a communal obligation, so that means there has to always be a certain number of individuals fulfilling this right. So if nobody turns up for Salatul Janaza, the whole community is sinning. Same thing with gaining knowledge, there has to always be people memorizing the Quran, people seeking knowledge. So some knowledge is obligatory upon every Muslim, i.e. you have to know how to pray, you have to know the basic beliefs. If you're running a business, you need to know the rules of transaction. Many people run businesses, but they don't understand any Islamic transaction. So anytime you get into a field, let's say running a business, you need to know what is halal, haram, what is clear, what when it comes to contracts, what should I write, what should I not write. That you have to. It becomes an obligation at that point of time for you. So if anytime you're going to give zakat, and if you have, let's say, a company and you have goods in your warehouse, for example, it's been lying in your warehouse for a whole year, you haven't sold it, there's zakat on those goods. So that's why it's very important for any individual who has a business and all these things, they have to know certain rulings. So anytime you do something, let's say you're going for Hajj, it's very, very saddening. Many people came for Hajj, and when I went in, it was last year, I think most people paid anywhere from 8,000 to 20,000. People came for Hajj not knowing the rulings of Hajj. That they just turned up. And last year we didn't have any imam. So that means you were a one-man soldier and you didn't study. So certain rulings will change from recommended to an obligation once you have to do Hajj, right? At this point of time, when it's in front of you, you have to know how to do Hajj. If you're somebody who's just a regular guy, you haven't gone for Hajj yet, then it's a different ruling. So inshallah ta'ala, there's etiquettes even for Jum'ah, so I will cover that later on. Okay, Sunan, al-Rawatib, Tahiyyatul Masjid, al-Duha, al-Witr. So Witr, the Hanafis will classify it as wajib, i.e. they're very strict on not leaving Witr. The usually Imam Ahmed, he took a position, this is just a statement, that any person who does not pray Witr, don't take him as a shahid, yani don't take him as a witness, when it comes to things. This is a very, very serious affair. So Rawatib, there's 2 particular narrations. One is to pray 10 rak'ah, one is to pray 12 rak'ah. So 10 is the mu'tamad. What do I mean by 10 and 12? 2 before Fajr, and then you'll pray 2 before Dhuhr, or some people I know pray 4. 2 after Dhuhr, and then 2 after Maghrib, and then 2 after Isha. So that makes, if you stick to one narration, it's 10, and it's just 2 before Dhuhr and 2 after Dhuhr. Another narration is 2, i.e. 4, and then to pray 2 after. That makes a total of 12. Depends on which narration you take. Okay. Depends on which narration you take. The other one is Duha. I think after breakfast class, many of you pray Duha. Tahiyyatul Masjid is recommended. Al-Witr again is a recommended act. Muharrama, when can you not pray Salah itself? So there is particular timings. So once you have prayed Salatul Fajr, it's a little bit detailed, I don't know if I should go into the details. Once you have prayed, okay, then I don't have to worry. So there are certain time we don't have to pray. Like, i.e. you're prohibited from praying at certain times. Inshallah, that will cover, hopefully.
So for the Eid, especially Eid al-Adha,
yes.
If you're to do the Udhiyah, then in that case you have to pray, right?
I mean, this is a whole debate in terms of, if you're doing, so for somebody who's doing Hajj himself, there's no Eid, he's not going to pray Salatul Eid in this case.
Right.
But for a regular person, you may find some ikhtilaf on this qawl in general. Like I said, some people, once they classify it as fard kifaya, some people will tell you, you should pray Salatul Eid. They will move it from fard kifaya to, let's say, fard ayn or something. But generally, some will classify it as sunnah also. So it is, as long as there's a community doing this, the one that I'm explaining here, as long as the community is praying, it is not an individual obligation. So if you follow that opinion, you know the community. I'm not saying be.
No, understood.
So hopefully that. Okay.